Chapter 8. Wireless LAN Deployment and Consideration. In this chapter you will learn about the following. Deployment considerations for commonly supported wireless LAN application and devices. The following section focuses on considerations. Start with data. Email and web browsing are two of the most common applications that come to mind. When designing your wireless network, analyze the data requirements of your users and make sure the data rates at which the users will connect are capable of handling the amount of data that they will be transmitting. For voice, when designing a wireless LAN to support voice communications, keep in mind that, unlike data communications, voice communications are not tolerant of network delay, dropped packets and sporadic connection. Video. The transmission of video is typically more complex than voice. Once you have identified the type of video that will be used on your wireless LAN, you can plan your network. You need to evaluate the system or software that is transmitting the wireless video traffic to determine the type of traffic and protocols along with the network load. Real-time location services. It can be used to locate or track people or devices on a wireless LAN. Tags can be affixed to any device to provide tracking and help deter theft. Tags can also be worn by employees, children at amusement park, hospital staff or patients, to name a few. Mobile devices. Multiple concerns arise with integrating these devices into the network. Make sure that the devices are capable of connecting to the network using the proper authentication. Ensure the use of encryption protocols along with the ability for these devices to be able to smoothly run throughout the network without losing connectivity. And provide network access, not only based upon the identity of the user of the device, but also based upon the type of device or other device or connections characteristic. This is an example of real-time location service by using Echo Vision. Corporate data access and end-user mobility. Wireless networking provides a simple method to add networking in some areas. With the increased throughput provided by 802.11 and now 802.11 AC technology. Many organizations have been transitioning to this higher speed wireless networks while reducing the number of devices connecting to the network via wired connection. Wireless network can provide continuous and everywhere access. Network extensions to remote areas are also important. Whatever the reason for installing wireless networking, companies must remember its benefits and its flaws. Wireless provide mobility, accessibility, and convenience. But, if not designed and implemented properly, it can lack in performance, availability, and throughput. Additional common uses. Bridging. A wireless building-to-building bridge requires that the two buildings have a clear RF line of sight between them. After this have been determined or created, a point-to-point or point-to-multipoint transceiver and antenna can be installed. Wireless Internet Service Provider or WISP. WISP deliver internet services via wireless networking instead of directly cabling each subscriber. WISP can provide services via RF communication from central transmitter. WISPs often use wireless technology other than 802.11, enabling them to provide wireless coverage to much greater areas. Small office, home office. Wireless networking has helped to make it easy for a SOHO employee to connect the office computers and peripheral devices together as well as to the internet. The main purpose of SOHO 802.11 network is typically to provide wireless access to an internet gateway. Mobile office networking. Mobile homes or traders' offices are used for many purposes as temporary office, during construction, or after a disaster, or as temporary classroom, to accommodate unplanned changes in student population. For example, a wireless bridge can be used to distribute wireless networking to the mobile office. Educational and classroom use. Wireless network enables students to connect to the network and work on schoolwork anywhere in the building without having to worry about whether a wired network jack is nearby, or whether someone else is already using it. School typically requires more access points for coverage because of the wall material between classroom. The use of wireless bridging is also prevalent in campus environments. Many universities and colleges use many types of wireless bridge links including 802.11 to connect buildings campus-wide. Vertical markets. Industrial, warehouse and manufacturing environments often deploy wireless handheld devices, such as barcode scanners, which are used for inventory control. Wireless networks are able to provide the coverage and mobility required in a warehouse environment, and provide it cost-effectively. Healthcare. Healthcare providers need quick, secure, and accurate access to patient and hospital or clinic data, so they can react and make decisions. Wireless networks can provide mobility, giving healthcare providers faster access to important data by delivering the data directly to a handheld device that the doctor or nurse carries with them. Municipal network. There has been an increased interest and success in deployment 802.11 in many downtown and high-density areas. Hotspot. Most hotspot providers perform network authentication by using a special type of web page known as a captive portal. When a user connects to the hotspot, the user must open up a web browser. If the hotspot provider is a paid service, the users must enter their subscription information. Many free hotspots are also use captive portal as a method for requiring user to agree to a usage policy before they are allowed access to the internet. Many corporations also use captive portal to authenticate guest user onto their corporate network. Transportation networks. The primary use of these networks is to provide hotspot services for end users, so that they can gain access to the internet. The difference between a transportation network and a typical hotspot is that the network is continually moving, making it necessary for the transportation network to use some type of mobile uplink services. Law enforcement networks. Many law enforcement agencies are using Wi-Fi as a supplement to their public safety wireless network. First responder networks. Wi-Fi first responder network may be able to provide communication between local personnel and possibly shared access to central resources. This is example hotspot's captive portal web page. Lastly, fixed mobile convergence, FMC. The goal of FMC system is to provide a single device with a single number that is capable of switching between networks and always using the lowest cost network. Chapter 8 Summary. End of chapter. Thank you for watching and listening.